Good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster. I'm touching base with you as I always do every day except for Sunday. Sunday is our rest day, and I hope you are all doing fine and doing great. And yeah, today's a new day, and this is the first time I am on without Instagram. I am on without Instagram, where we started our beginnings. And this is a big move for me to say, you know what? I'm going to chuck Instagram for a moment until first of all they get their act together. And I am here now on Touch Base Daily is now fully on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and we are here. So we'll see who joins us. Who knows that we're here? So far, I am the only one in the room, but that's okay. We're still going to go on. Today, we are going to talk about tips. Tips. Our topic today is how to determine how we do that. Let me just put the banner up. I mean, our banners is why we got these things here, right? Choosing today's tip. Here we go. How to determine your next camera purchase. That's what our tip is today. I get that question more than any other question from from people in my meetup group, from people that I go to church with, when I do go to church, and people that I meet in the community, my neighbors, they all ask me the same question. Ron, how do I pick a camera? And so today is your lucky day. If you're tuning in, today is your lucky day. Okay, we see some comments coming in the board. We see. Omar is in the building. Good morning, Omar. Chrissy is in the building. Good morning, Chrissy. Good morning. Good morning. Miss G is in the building today. Yes. If you're interested in knowing about how to pick a camera, today is your lucky day. Like I said, I get that question a lot. I get that question. So I'll have some showing, some display, show and tell, as they say. So we're going to do some show and tell. And then we're just going to give you a couple of tips. They're just basic tips. So that way you can be able to kind of think about how to pick your next camera. Okay. Now there is one camera that I forgot. In my little arsenal. It's over by the TV, but we'll worry about that. We're just gonna miss it. One camera for this display. But yeah, welcome. We are on, and for those that are just coming in, we are on YouTube without Instagram. Whoa, this was a big move. I felt like my heart went out to my folks on Instagram. But like I said, Instagram has been a little wonky, and I am not being bumped off today. Today, I am going to be live and stay with you. Okay, so we're off. Well, first of all, let's talk about a little bit of news. You know how we just can't dive into what's going on without talking about a little news. The current news and events. First of all, we all found out about King Charles III has cancer, and they haven't disclosed what kind of cancer, but that has been in the news all day last night, all day yet this morning. I should say all day this morning, and it's still in the news. And also, just breaking about maybe a half hour ago, is that the appellate court said, chuck you. We don't care about what you are saying. You do not have unlimited immunity. No, you do not, Mr. President, Mr. Ex-President, Mr. Failed Beat President. Yes, he now has to go to the Supreme Court probably. He will have to go to a higher court, but the appellate court said, we're not even hearing it. And they gave their reasons why. So that is good news on the legal point. It just shows you that the justice system, it is slow, but it is just for the most part. Okay, who else is in the building? Lisa says, thank God. Thank God. And I say, I miss the ability to shout out folks like we can on Instagram. You can do it here. What are you talking about, Omar? Look at all these people in the building. You can see who they are. They're in the comment box. You can reach out and say hello. Like Lisa's in the building, Charlene's in the building, Kimmy's in the building. The whole gang is here. The whole gang is here. You can shout them out. You can shout them out. That's right. Our first morning without Instagram. I'm like, I'm feeling a mixed feeling here. Okay, do you guys want to? I'm just going to wait a little bit until we get like. I always wait till we get 10 people in the building, and then I'll just start right into our tip for today, because I know the LinkedIn people are ready. They are ready. The LinkedIn folks are ready. They want to know what's going on. They want to know how to pick their cameras. Like I said, Shirley, I think was it Shirley or Rashawn? I think one of you asked me just a couple of weeks ago. I want to pick up. I want to pick a camera, but Ron, what do I do? How do I pick it? So because of Rashawn, and I think it was Shirley, you inspired this Tip Tuesday. Just want you to know, you inspired this Tip Tuesday. Amparo is in the building. Grand Rising, she says. Amparo, you know my brother uses that name, that saying, Grand Rising. And here's Miss G. Miss G is going to speak out. She says, Omar Ramos, we're overdue for a meet and greet. Hello, y'all live in the same area, probably just a couple of miles from each other by Dallas standards. Dallas looks close on a map, but when you drive from Dallas to another destination, it's long as hell. It's long as hell. So anyway, welcome everybody to Touch Base Daily. Again, our topic today is going to be, let me get to my banners. Let me get my banner up. It's Tip Tuesday, how to determine your next camera purchase. And for all the photographers in the room, you are more than welcome to chime in. That's what the comment box is for. Chime in. This is a discussion. This is just not Ron just telling you what's going on in the world. It's a discussion. And so these are tips, meaning that there are many more tips out there. There are many more ideas out there. There are other perspectives out there. This is just my perspective and the research I've done. So I hope that you are going to take some notes, get your pens and papers out, get your little tablet out, because here we go. Here we go. Okay. There's some more comments in the box. Let me get that before we start. Grand Rising instead, good morning. That says Amparo. Grand Rising instead of good morning, old term. Now, good morning. Amparo says, I really consider a Sony cheating on Nikon. Ooh, don't tell Nikon that. Yeah, that would be a cheating. Yeah, there's all kinds of camera brands out there. So let's get started. Let's get started. Okay. Choose a camera that suits your needs and preferences. Ooh, right? Right? And what does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, we have a lot of different types of cameras in the world. We have cameras that date back to 1845 all the way. Well, this camera is older than that, but we have cameras that date from that point on to now. We have digital cameras. We have, for instance, can I just share with some of these with you guys? Where do I begin? We have these little point and shoots. This is a little Sony point and shoot. So you can see here, a little point and shoot. And do I have any battery power in there? I think I did, pretty much so. But you can pop this open. It's small. It travels with me everywhere I need to go. This camera happens to do a lot that my big camera does. It's my point and shoot. It's always with me, just in case of emergencies. It's where I travel the city. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I don't want to carry my big camera, but this is what I want. This is what I want to go to, maybe the museum. Maybe it's an art gallery. Maybe it's just walking across the Brooklyn Bridge. This little camera The little Sony does, well, it's called a point and shoot. You know why it's called a point and shoot? Because you don't really have to think about it. You just click, point, and shoot. Now, there are manual modes on this camera, so that's a little more sophisticated. But there are simple ones that are just literally press the button, lens pops out, take the picture, and you're done. Okay? So this is a point and shoot camera. This camera that I'm holding up right now is a Sony. Oh God, which series is this? This is the RV. I know the RV series, I think it is. And yeah, I've used it so much that it wore out the information on it. So anyway, we have this little guy. Then you have the DSLR, which is one of these big babies. Right? You know, they come in different sizes, but this has an extra, battery pack on it. But this is a DSLR. And I love my DSLR. I love it. I haven't given it up yet because I love the way it shoots portrait shots. I don't know about me. Maybe it's just me. Omar, is it something different with you? Do you enjoy your DSLR still? Do you still have one? I do like the way this does portraits. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's in my head. I don't know. Then we have this wonderful mirrorless camera. And this is for the people that like to hike outdoor street photography, small camera that doesn't get in the way, doesn't make people afraid. When I walk in a room with this camera, people get very, very afraid. The media is here. When I walk in the room with this camera, well, okay, maybe I don't know exactly what he does. I just know he's a photographer. So they're not afraid with this, right? And this is called a mirrorless camera. As you can see, it has kind of like the same kind of situation as the point and shoot. It's digital. It's digital. All digital sensors and all that stuff in here. Yeah, it keeps it simple too. However, the reason why I bought this camera, the original purpose of me buying a mirrorless camera is because I love landscape photography. I like to hike. I like to climb mountains. I like to walk and do all this stuff outdoors. This camera is a lot easier to carry than this camera. This camera is heavy. This camera is a third the weight of this. I used to carry this when I climb mountains. Now I carry this. So again, choose a camera that suits your needs and preferences. And then you can even go further. I see someone, I'll go to some of those comments in a moment. Let's say you want to do a 360 situation. 360. Look at that. You got the GoPros. You got this one. It's called the 360 and Insta 360. And you can get the 360 view, photograph, do videos, do sports. This is great when you are on your bike and you want to attach it to your helmet, attach it to the handlebars. If you're on the water and you're doing water sports, you put it in a cage. You can surf with this camera. Yeah, you can do a lot with this. This is a camera. This is a camera. Check it out, the camera. 360s. And there's still more. Well, the other cameras are over there. Should I go grab one? Yeah, I'm not gonna say be right back. I'm gonna just grab it. Okay. And there's some folks that like the old stuff. They like film cameras. Film. Some folks don't like digital. Some people don't like DSLRs. Some people don't like GoPros. They don't like any of those stuff. They just want to go simple with a basic film camera. Yes, film cameras. People just use film. They just use film. And then for the rest of us, the beautiful, the beautiful smartphone. Who could live without a smartphone? The smartphone. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying in the comment box. Okay, let's see. Let's see. I see here. Omar says, let's do it. And Miss G says, I have my Canon point and shoot for family events and traveling. Exactly. Rashawn says, good morning. Ah, Omar says, I want to show my cameras. He says, I want to show my cameras. Okay. He says, I have my SLR cameras. Yeah. Yeah. I see here. Ron should send you a link to hop on. You know what? I could do that, Omar. I could send you a link. Maybe I'll do that. If you're available, let me know. If you're not driving around in the car somewhere, you're more than welcome to join me because you are an expert in this. You've been photographing the world for 45 years. It's been that long? 45 years? Yeah, I think it's 40. It could be 50. Yeah, we're getting old, Omar. Ah, motivated morning family, says Lauren. She says, motivated morning family. Okay, got that. And Shirley says, I still love my film camera. I still love my film camera. Cell phone, selfies. Yes, for the selfies. I know you meant for selfies. Yes, but these cell phones are way more advanced than just for selfies. They can do anything that a lot of these big guys can do. The smartphone. And he says, I'm in the studio. Omar says he's in the studio. Well, you know what? How about me sending you an invite link? I'm going to send you a link right now to your email address. I'm going to do that right now. Sending it to Omar. Omar Ramos. Where's my Omar Ramos? What is it? What? Omar is not in this in my photography page scene? What's going on? This is not cool. Okay. Omar, you're gonna have to send me your email in a private chat. Or I hate when this happens. But that was spontaneity. That was spontaneity. So we're gonna have to maybe we'll do that another time. But anyway, let's move on to the next banner. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so one is step one. Step one. Determine your budget and the type of camera you want. Now, we went over all these types, right? You got all these types of cameras. If I had a table here, you would see them all on my desk. And it is always amazing to me that someone will always call me. No one calls me unless I'm online. Isn't that the crazy? But anyway, it's ignored. It's ignored. So determine your budget. What is your budget? How often are you going to photograph? Are you going to use your camera once in a lifetime? Are you going to use your camera every month? Are you going to use your camera once a year? Are you going to use your camera every week? Are you going to use your camera every day? Those are the determining factors of how much money you will spend in your camera. Why would you? I have several friends that think cameras are like Gucci watches. And they want the best of the best camera. But guess what? They've only shot with the best of the best camera twice since they've had it in the last 5 years. Horrible. Don't waste your money. If you're only going to use your camera once in 5 years, well, you probably just want a cheap little camera. No one cares. No one can see what kind of camera you have. No one knows the difference between a camera that costs $6,000 or $8,000 and a camera that costs a couple of hundred, unless you are a photographer. But the people outside the photography world don't know. It's just a camera. And why would you spend all that money and not use it? So your budget. Your budget is determined by how much you're going to use the camera. I'll never forget. That's what when I learned that lesson from one of the gentlemen at, B&H back in the day. It may have been J&R. Whew, Music World. They had a camera section. The experts. Let your budget be determined by how much you're going to use the camera. If you're going to use the camera every day, then you'll want to invest in something more, something durable, something that maybe you can use it and move around with. Or if you want to invest in a camera, maybe because it's for your business. Maybe you have a business and you want to take pictures of your merchandise. That's a reason. There are thousands of reasons why you purchase a camera. Thousands of reasons. You have to determine what's your reason, and then that will help you with your budget. Your budget. Next. Oh, before we go to the next one, let me see what you're saying in the comment boxes. Here we go. Omar says, buying the best camera does not mean you get the best photos. Speak, brother. Have you ever seen, someone riding a BMW, but yet they work at McDonald's? They really probably don't know how to use the BMW, right? But maybe that wasn't a good analogy. But you know what I mean. And Miss G says, and customers don't ask either. Customers don't care what camera you have. They just want their photo shot. They just want you to shoot them well. They just want you to make them look good. It could be a Sony. It could be a Nikon. It could be a Fuji. It could be a Leica. It could be, I can go on and on. There's several camera companies in the world that are good. Good morning, Gary. Gary says, good morning, my big brother. Yeah, good morning, everyone. Yeah, look at that. What's another? Any other thoughts in this room before we go to the next one? Buying cameras. Okay. That was an awful analogy. Okay, I won't use BMWs and McDonald's ever again. I won't use it. Okay, step 2. Another thing. Again, going with what we talked about just a little while ago. Check the features and specifications of the camera that fit your budget and type. Right? For instance, this camera, like G says, she takes one of these point and shoots for traveling. There are places in the world that you can't use this camera. There are places in the world that you become a target the moment you take this camera out. You can't use it. There's certain places in Madrid and Spain that I was going into. I had to make sure this was hidden. And then I use this. Or I couldn't use this in Nigeria, at least everywhere I wanted to. When I go into the markets in Africa, I can't walk around with this. No, I become a target not just for the thieves, but for the police. Can't walk around too much with this. Yeah, that's why I'm so glad they invented this, because I just look like a normal tourist if I'm in another country. Yeah, but learn the specifications. Each one of these cameras has a function. They have functions. They excel in whatever they are created for. I'm not going to use any crazy analogies. If you want a 360 camera, this is a 360. You don't want anything else but a 360. So know the specifications. Understand the specifications. Understand what you're going to use the camera for. It always goes back to that. What are you going to use the camera for? How often are you going to use that camera? I see another comment. Let's see what the comments say. Let's go to, I think Omar, hold on. Here we go. If you can only buy one camera, buy a camera you can grow with. Find out what is your why for taking photos. I love when the photographers chime in. The photographers are chiming in today. Omar is chiming in. Where's the other photographers in the room? Yes. If you can only buy one camera, buy a camera you can grow with. That's why I bought this one. This was an investment. This was an investment in my career. I learned so much. There's so much I still don't know about this camera. This beautiful mirrorless Nikon Z7 II, not like Omar's Z8. Omar has a Z8. Omar, my birthday's coming up, 60th birthday. Hint, hint. Okay. Yeah, but focus on, buy something you can grow into, especially if you feel like you're going to be photographing. Especially if you want to get out and photograph your world. Especially if you are the person in your family, the person in your family that takes all the photos. You know who you are. Like I was the guy. Anytime we had a family gathering, I took the pictures. When I was gathered in school, when I was in high school, when I was in college, I was the guy that everybody was like, Ron's going to bring the camera. Maybe you're that person. And if you are that person, then invest in a good camera, like Omar said, that you can grow with. Yeah. Oh, here's another photographer speaking. Amparo says, buy a camera that has ways to expand that are backwards and forward compatible. Expand. You want things that can move. You want things, you can grow with. You can put lenses on here. You can change the lenses on these big babies. You can't change the lenses on these guys. That's the point. That's the point. That's why it's called a point and shoot. Yeah. Oh, here we go. We need to all get together and celebrate. I know. 60 is around the corner. Oh, I can't believe it. Holy moly. Okay, number 3. And this is so good. I mean, I'll never forget when someone told me this suggestion. Step 3, try out the cameras in person if possible. Guys, go to your camera shop. Talk to your camera shop dealers. Talk to your camera shop retailers. Talk to them. They love to talk about photography. They love talking cameras. For the most part, people that are working in a camera shop, that's their pride. That's their joy. I go to Adorama. I go to B&H. We used to have this when I first started in photography as a kid, when I was in high school, when I was in, like in college. It was Willoughby. We had a camera store called Willoughby that used to be in Midtown, where all the photographers would go. It was called Willoughby. It was a family-owned business. It was huge. You went into that place and you were like, holy moly, I'm in camera heaven. But what was good about Willoughby, the old camera company, every salesperson on that floor, every person in the building knew about cameras. And the best thing they love to do is say, oh, let's go try it out. You want to try the Canon? You want to try the Nikon? You want to try the Sony? Let's get them all out. Most camera dealers don't care how many selections you pick. They want you to get familiar with the camera. So ask. Go to the camera shop. Connect with the people there and say, I would like to try this camera. They love you for it. First of all, they love talking about cameras. What says you? What says you in this on this tip? Okay. Okay, I see here, folks. Folks often overlook buying secondhand from camera stores. Ooh. Here's a good one. Thank you, Miss G. Thank you, Miss G. Not only do you get to talk to, if you go to your camera store, I'm going to keep saying because I'm a New Yorker, so it's B&H or it's B&H or Adorama. Matter of fact, Adorama is why I'm a photographer today in a lot of ways, because I went to every workshop there. I did all the stuff. I learned from the people there. I got to know Seth and Daniel and all the folks at the Adorama. And anytime I had a question, I would just go in and say, Seth, what do you think? Daniel, what do you think? And all the people at the desk all over the store, they are happy to help you. I was like, I need this. What camera is best for this? What lens is best for this function? I have a project that I'm getting ready to, this is my first time doing this. What camera do I need? What lens do I need? But another thing you can do at camera stores, I guess you probably don't know this, but I'm going to tell you. You can rent a camera so you can get acquainted with it. You can rent lenses at these camera stores. You can rent them. You can say, you know what? I want to become familiar with that Z8 camera, Nikon Z8. You can rent it. You can even rent them for holidays. What I mean by holidays, for most people out of the country know what I'm saying when I say holiday. That means vacation. You can rent a camera and lenses for your vacation at stores. And by doing that, you get a feel of that camera. Some of my friends, they go to safaris. They have assignments overseas. They don't take these big cameras. They rent. They rent. Did you know that? Did you know you can rent? Okay, let's see what says you. Yep, here it is. Oh, welcome, Peggy. Peggy, who's been one of our guests, has in San Diego. They used to be George's Camera. I love camera stores. That's right. That's right. And I see here, speaking secondhand, I know with Sony, you can put the last image on a website and it will give you the shutter states, so you know how how used it is. Okay, there we go. How used it is. There are ways to know. There are numbers, like a car has an odometer. Do you know cameras have odometers in them of how many, like the shutter? How often you click the shutter, how old that camera is, how much it's been used by the shutter counter in the camera? Did you know that? It's like an odometer. Cameras, to find out how old, how much it's been used, they have a shutter count. Yeah. Yeah. There's so much about cameras. It's a whole world. Gwendolyn says, I miss Adorama, but I still have my film shipped in from them. Isn't that something? Like I said, B&H, Adorama, they're the kings of New York. And I don't say one is better than the other. Now, what I will say about B&H is the inventory is massive. It looks like a Walt Disney World for photographers. Be warned, if you come to New York and you go to B&H to buy a camera or to seek one out, be prepared that you could be overwhelmed. But that's why you go to a salesperson and connect with them so that it can help you along the way. How we doing? How we doing? How are we doing? Are we getting some information out there? Okay, let's go for number 4. Let's go for number 4. Read reviews and opinions from other users and experts. Hello, that's why we have YouTube. That's why I'm here. That's why there's all these photographers on YouTube. You can click on any, you can just put in YouTube information about Sony, whatever, information about Nikon, best cameras for landscape, best cameras for street photography, best cameras for portrait photography. Read reviews, opinions from others, users, and experts. Talk to the photographers in this room. There are photographers in this community. We are a community. Yes, we are not folks in this room, in this community that believe in competition. We're not competing against each other. No. We see the valuability, we see the valuable, the value in community. That's what you get in community. Dialogue, conversation. That's how we learn. That's how we learn. Yeah. What's going on? Yeah. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Okay. Yeah. Guys, there are lots of ways to find out about cameras. And you can literally go online, Google, and they will have, you can go look up Google camera reviews, and it will tell you. It will give you lots of articles on the camera you're interested in, or what's the best selection. Okay. Back to that. I rented equipment I wanted before buying, says G. Yeah. It just says, hey, y'all, hey, all. Okay. But definitely, guys, read reviews and opinions from other users and experts. I can't say that enough, especially in this day and age where all this information is available. We live in the data age. Everything is available for us. Everything you need, every question you have can be answered. So why not use these resources? Okay, the next one. The next and final, and it's not the last, it's not the least. It is choose the camera that best meets your needs and expectations. That's it. That's at the end of the day. That's it. What are your needs? What are your best expectations? Yeah, man. Yes. Choose the camera that best fits you. And again, we went over that. You can see it in the selection of cameras, how often you're going to shoot. Yeah, all of that is the summary of picking your camera. And last but here, and this is the last thought on this, we're doing good on time too. Remember that there is no perfect camera, and every camera has its strengths and weaknesses. Yes. Yes. Like I said, I can only use one of these for different things. If I want to point and shoot, I'm not using this one. If I'm on vacation, I can't go into certain places with cameras. You know, there's certain places around the world that will not let you in with this big camera. On cruise, I'll never forget, I was on a cruise ship last year, and they said, I was at the Mexican, I was in the Yucatan Peninsula, and I went to the ruins. It was a private ruins area that I wanted to go. They said, "Oh no, you can't bring this in." And why they said it is because I had a big lens on. So what I did was I took off the long lens and just put this short lens on. And they went, "Oh, okay, that's a regular camera. Bring it in." But there are restrictions. If you are a person that likes to travel, you need to know where you're going and what kind of cameras you can use. But guess what? If I couldn't use that camera, this camera was right in the bag, just in case. Just in case. So, guys, think about it. I hope these little tips help you. Here he goes. Here's the last thought, the final thought. And Omar and I talk about this all the time. Omar always brings it up. The best camera is the one that you enjoy using and that helps you capture the moments that matter to you. And for most of us, it comes down to this little baby. It comes down to this little baby, right? We have cameras. Cameras are all around us. Cameras are part of our daily operations. As we walk around the city, we have cameras. So use them. Use them, especially those that aspire to step up in their photography. Okay, any questions? It's Q&A time. It's Q&A time. Any questions? Any questions from the comment area, from those that are here? We have a low audience today. Oh, maybe we still need our Instagram, but that's okay. This will live on. Anyone from Instagram can get the link and come over and see it later. But yeah, guys, any questions? I see a lot of photographers in the room, so they pretty much have the answers. And if you have a question, some of them will be able to answer them. Not just me, but they are here too. Yeah. Okay. We are coming up on the hour. It's almost 12 o'clock, so we're going to probably end at 12 o'clock, and at least around that number. Okay. Since there are no questions, there's no Q&A. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Here's some announcements then. I have an announcement. Tomorrow we have a special guest tomorrow. We have Gerard Gaskin coming in tomorrow on our interview. He is, let me see if I can bring up his information here so you can see his work. Hold on a second. I meant to have that up there. It is right there. We're going to set, you know how I just do. I can just, here we go. Hold on a second. And Mr. Gaskin. Man, I am so happy to have him coming on. Okay, here we go. We can hop onto, let's see if we can pop that in here. Okay. Come on, computers. Work your magic. Okay, here we go. Mr. Gaskin, sorry for the little wait here, but we're live. And this stuff happens when you're live. You just got to take your time and get it done, right? Okay, here we go. Sure. Oh, forgot. You got to put in the H. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen. And here we go. Present. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share that beautiful screen there. And so we're going to have Mr. Gaskin on for tomorrow. And his work is incredible. Incredible work. Look at that. I mean, he photographs his main. He does his what he's famous for are the ballroom dancers. The ballroom, not as in the tango, but ballroom. Ballroom. It's a culture, and he is definitely part of that. And he's going to tell his stories and the stories behind his photos. It's going to be a great interview tomorrow with Mr. Gerard H. Gaskin. And his work is incredible. So come and join us tomorrow. We will be live again here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. We will not be on Instagram tomorrow either. Until Instagram gets it together, we're going to have to make sure. Look, we had everything run right today. Everything ran right today. Also, here's another thing. Let me go here. Just so you know, for those that if you are in New York City on the fourth Saturday every month, we do our meetup. Our meetup was on the fourth Saturday, our RLP Urban Photographer meetup. And instead of meeting in the streets in the winter months, we take our show into the galleries. And so there is an Event going on called the Giants arts from the Dean collection of Beats and Alicia Keys. So we'll be at the gallery and that's from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. But for most people, they will get there early because there's so much to see. And most of us will linger because there's so much to see. But we will be there from 2 to 4 as a group, meeting together. And then we will enjoy the rest of the museum. Now, usually what we end up doing after 4 o'clock is we usually linger for just a little bit, and then we go grab something to eat, and we have a great fellowship. So I am inviting the Touch Base Daily family to come on out. You are invited to join us. I will have the links on this, and it will also be linked on Instagram at some point in one of the stories. Okay, so we'll be doing that on the 4th Saturday of the month. So come on out to that. And what else we're doing? And I think that, so if you want more information on this topic that we talked about today, you can go to my Patreon page. Again, this is the Patreon page. If you go into Patreon, you'll say www.patreon.com at ronlouisphotos. You can click on this, and you can also become a member. These are all the memberships. You can join, become a member of the Patreon community. You can do that here as well. But most of all, you have all of this Tip Tuesdays that we've shared are all on this page. So you can check that out. Tip Tuesday, how to determine the next camera purchase. And these are in the details. So you can get the details right there and see everything right there as you go through. And then also the links to all of the articles that will help you in your decision. So so on our Patreon community, everything is in one place. You can read up on this and then click on the links, and then you are good to go. Okay, I think that's it. I think we have it there. Let me stop sharing this computer here. There we go. I'm back. And again, here's the link to the Patreon page for the rest of the information. You want to dive in deeper on the topic for today, you can go to the Patreon page and see that. Okay. I think we're good. Any last comments out there? Okay. I see the comments are either frozen or you're just not talking. Is that possible? No, because I'm looking at the feed. Because thanks to my work wife Gwendolyn, I got my big screen right there looking at the thing on live. There we go. Omar says, great topics, Ron. Great topics. Yeah. So check it out. I hope this helps someone. I know that people always ask me that question. And they say, Ron, how do I pick? But now it's all there. Now I can just send them to the link. And that's why I was like, this is going to kill two birds with one stone. So now you can go straight to the link and get that information. Or any of your friends can go. You can give them the link and they can get this information. But it's great stuff to know how to pick your next camera. Okay, guys, we are about to get out of here. And thank you for joining me. I let you guys linger a little bit because I like to have you guys be able to communicate through the chat and all that good stuff. So if you have nothing else to say to me here, then I'm going to let you go. Thank you for joining me on Touch Base Daily, and I will see you tomorrow.